there. Welcome. Um, Today we're going to talk about 7 products that we all need, but nobody talks about. But we're going to talk about them today. So thank you for joining me. And we're going to talk about products from the top. We're going to talk about from tartar to tussies. And let's get started. Before I get started, would you please remember to subscribe? I keep on forgetting to mention it. But if you press the red button, it's somewhere down there. Please subscribe because that tells the algorithm that you're interested in products about women of a certain age. And we need more of those, right? Absolutely. So let's get started. This is a Sonicare toothbrush. Every time I go to the dentist, I'd always feel so inadequate. They'd always tell me, you've got too much tartar, you're not brushing enough here, you're not brushing enough there, you're getting too much tartar there, your gums are receding, you're gonna need this, you're gonna need that, you need more rubber tipping, you need more this. I mean, I'd leave there feeling so inadequate. Whoops. And then I heard about these Sonicare brushes. I started using them, and suddenly I'm putting my dentist out of business because it moves so much, it gets rid of the tartar. That doesn't mean I don't floss. It doesn't mean that I don't rubber tip, but it's not like I used to. So my recommendation, get a Sonicare. This one's Philips. I either got it at Costco or I got it online. Who knows? I mean, eBay, I'm sure they're everywhere. And I even got a less expensive brush head. And here's a little tip. I change the brush head every time I go to the dentist because you don't want it too soft. You need to have it, so that it works. So tartar, get rid of it. Get your teeth, did you know that your mouth is connected to your heart and that you need to have really good teeth so that mouth health is heart health? Ta-da! Sonicare. So we're starting with tartar. Then, it's getting to be summer, and we're going to be wearing sandals. And do you notice people who've got, their feet are kind of white and crusty and it looks tacky? Now, what that is, that's, that old dry skin. You want to take care of it? You use Amlactin. Again, all of the products I'm talking about today, nobody's sponsoring me, nobody knows me. These are all products that I use on a regular basis. So this Amlactin, what I do is, what it's got is, it's got lactic acid. And the lactic acid does away with old dry skin. So what I do is I put this on my feet before I go walking. You can also put it on your feet before you go to bed. You can put it on your feet, but then I put on socks. So I put this on my feet, then I put on my socks, and then I either go walking or just around the house, and it makes such a difference. It's the best thing you can put on your feet. So I highly recommend Amlactin with lactic acid. You know what I didn't realize? That it's actually got alpha hydroxy therapy, which means it's sloughing off old dry skin and showing the new skin and getting rid of that dry skin. Highly recommend. Use it all the time. Next, I'm going to show you the same thing. I use this on my body. As I get older, I've got my skin, it's funny. I'll take something like CeraVe and I'll mix it with some grapeseed oil, and yes, it feels great, but it doesn't get rid of the old rough skin the way Amlactin does. See, this Amlactin, as I say, because of that lactic acid, it gets rid of the old rough skin. So I may not use this every day. I'll use this a couple of days, then I'll use the CeraVe and I'll mix a little grape oil in it. But it's a way of really making that rough, I don't know, should I call it old lady skin? Am I allowed to call me an old lady? At 81, I think I can. But it really does smooth out the skin. I don't know. It's like you've got rough places, smooth places. Why? You know, who said it should be that way? So anyway, I highly recommend this Amlactin, what's this called? Moisturizing body lotion. Highly recommend. Then, I don't know how to pronounce this, balneol. I found out about this, again, these are things that nobody talks about. After I'd had a colonoscopy, and the doctor suggested using this if your bottom was red and irritated. Well, your bottom gets red and irritated not just because of colonoscopies, but from who knows what. So I highly recommend this as something to keep in your bathroom, because you put this on tissue paper and it both helps in cleaning and in soothing when you need it. As I say, you don't need it all the time, but when you need it, it's there and it really does work. This is another excellent product. Highly recommend for soothing those places that need soothing. Another place that can need soothing. I told you nobody talks about things like this. This is called Nuprocanol. I discovered this because this is for hemorrhoids, but I'm not dealing with that. I use this when sometimes I'll get a burn. Sometimes I'll get, I'll get a burn, a sore, something that really hurts. And Nuprocanol, it's like Nuprocaine. It gets rid of pain and itching. So this is another product that I keep in the bathroom that really does help and really does work for itching and painful things. Then, okay, I remember I was at my mother's, in my mother's dressing room, and I remembered seeing pads and thinking, I wonder what she's using those pads for. Now, this has got to be maybe 40 years ago, but I didn't mention anything. You know, let's face it, one does need to be a little bit discreet. But my husband makes me laugh. I'm sure that's why we've been married for 61 years, 62 years. Oh my God, it's going to be 62 years. That's a story I've got to tell you about. So he makes me double over in laughter. He's hysterical. He's very quick-witted, and he catches me at the most. I don't expect to start laughing, but he'll tell me a story, and there I am doubled over in laughter, and maybe I drip a little bit. So my solution for that is, these are little pads. You can get them, I think they have levels of, I don't know if it's 0, but let's say 2, 4, 6, 8. But they're tiny little pads that you take the back off and you just affix them to your panties, and you're set for the day, and you don't have to worry if you giggle or laugh or you suddenly have a little tiny leak. And what I do is I keep these pads in my drawer with my panties, so that they're there next to one another. I don't have to go reaching for one and reaching for the other. It's just there. So this is another a little trick that I use. At the same time, I want to tell you about an app, and it's KPFE. At least I think that's the name of it. I'll put it in the notes that are just below the where it says show more. I'll put the notes just to make sure. But it's an app where you can practice your Kegels. My doctors would say, well, you need to practice Kegels. So every time you get to a stoplight, sit there and do your Kegels. Well, who remembers to do that? Or you're talking with somebody, or you're talking with your kids, or who remembers to do Kegels at stoplights? I've got the answer. You do it when you're looking at your iPhone. So you download this app, it's all set up for you, and you press start, and it gives you 2 minutes of go, rest, and you practice your Kegels. So you do it twice a day. You can do it anywhere. Nobody knows that you're doing it, but it's so much better than doing it at a stoplight. So I suggest you downloading the app, right? Get it. What else? Now, this is, I don't know how, I don't know if everybody talks about bras, but let's put it this way. I need a minimizer. And the best one I've found so far is by Soma. And it's, what do they call it? Sensuous Sides Minimizers. And it says it takes off 3 inches. So I highly recommend, this is the only bra I wear these days, the Soma Minimizer. It will make a huge difference. You know, I think one of the things that makes us look older is not wearing our ladies up high enough and letting things kind of sag down. It's not a pretty picture. But these minimizers really work. They really work well. So I hope these answers that these answer questions that you may not even know you needed answers to, or problems that you had that you didn't know the answers to. I hope that these will help you all. They've helped me. I've used them all for years. So thank you for joining me. Remember to subscribe and remember to hit the little bell to be notified. And thank you for joining me. This is a new, exciting experience for me. So thank you for joining me.